So objection handling, it costs too much. So in whatever stage this is, right? Usually you'll get this around the close or around the presentation part, but let's say you're trying to close, so it costs too much. The first line of defense with the it costs too much objection, and with a lot of the other objections as well, for me, is to just deflect or reflect the question. So, cost too much? And then I shut up, which forces them to defend their standpoint or their remark. Let's say they say it takes too long. Takes too long? And then they start talking. Because you don't know exactly what they mean. Maybe what they're saying is it costs too much compared to a competitor that I've seen before, and the competitor is utter shit, or they don't give a guarantee or whatever. So now we can zoom in on that. Maybe what they are saying is, hey, I don't have all of the money right now. Would love to do it, but can we sort of spread it out? Like, you need to get the info. So my first reaction would always be to ask them, cost too much? Then you let them talk. You shut up, by the way. You don't say anything after that, because they will fill up the space. You don't fill up the space. And if they're vague about it, then sometimes they say, yeah, it costs too much. Help me understand. And you shut up. Second step is always, this is going to be in every conversation, every objection, we always agree. We always agree. Yeah, I completely understand. Yeah, I'm with you. Yeah, no, I completely get it. And then we move on from there. We establish this because otherwise there's no way of solving the problem. We need to be on the same wavelength. And the first thing you need to do is say, I get it. I get it. I hear you. I'm with you. I understand. What I do in this case is I would isolate it as well. So before I would go into it, I would say, I completely get it. Is there anything else that sort of is rubbing you the wrong way, or that is sort of keeping you from moving forward with this? Is there anything else? Now, the reason why you do this is to prevent the scenario where we fix the cost too much thing, and then there's something else pops up. So now we want to know, like, is there anything, like, does it cost too much? Does it take too long? And are they bankrupt right now? Because then, I've had this many, many times in real estate, by the way, where someone makes an offer and then you get back to them and you make a counter offer, and then they start telling you this entire story, and you sort of have to interrupt them and say, apart from your sort of philosophical concerns or your opinion about this, is there any reason for you not to make a higher offer? And then they would say, yeah, well, I can only loan this much. Well done. Now we get to the heart of the matter. So we isolate it. If this is the only thing, that's awesome. If not, we sort of keep a tab open in our minds so we know what we have to fix. So let's say, no, this is the only thing. The next thing for you to do would be to ask a question to move the conversation in the right direction. So, and do me a favor, don't make it a insulting question or a question that's so dumb that it's very visible what you're actually trying to do. So some sales courses do this, and it's really embarrassing. So someone says cost too much, and then the counter question is, oh, you don't like quality. The passive aggressiveness is off the charts. Relax. We're still in conversation. We just agreed. Don't immediately insult them. Make it something human. Instead, I would like you to get to the bottom of it. So we've already asked them, cost too much, and then we've allowed them to say something about it. And then if we don't know yet why they think it costs too much, we can just say, well, what makes you say that? Or why do you feel that way? Or cost too much compared to what? And it's very okay to just tell them, like, help me get this, because I want to work through this with you. I want to solve this. So it costs too much in what way? Help me out. And then once they understand that you're besides them, I'm not opposite of you. I'm sitting beside you. I want to fix this. I want to get this done, but you need to help me out with some more info. They'll happily give you the info. Like, this is not hard, but you need to make sure that they understand that you're on their side. You're not against them. You're with them. And then from there on out, like I said, maybe it's a very specific thing. Maybe they're comparing to something that isn't correct. And then you can work with them from that point on. So, okay, it's expensive because in another store I saw this, or another copywriter would charge this or whatever. And then we can solve that. We can say, okay, I definitely understand. And did you see the portfolio of the other writer? Did he also do the guarantee? Like, you can ask questions to move the convo in the right direction, but at least you know what the real problem is. So the whole cost thing is usually either a way to get you the lower price, which you can or cannot do. Like, I didn't used to do it. I would just say, I'd love to work with you. And what I do is I do the same rate for all of my clients, because I think that's fair. And I think, like, let's say you run into one of my clients in the supermarket and I'm working with Arno. Yeah, that's awesome. And then you get to the point of price and you find out that I charged him like 80% of what I charge you. I wouldn't feel right doing that. So for me, that's just a personal thing. But that's I'm sure we can get the results. I'm super excited to work with you, but this is the rate. Like, if you want to get this going, let's do this. I think it's going to be awesome. That's one approach. You can pick your own, but get to the bottom of the objection first. See what they actually mean. Don't be fooled by a smokescreen objection.